Def Jam Fight for New York is a wrestling game made by Aki Corporations that'll eventually rename itself as Sin Sophia, going on to make more video games like the Kurohyou series for the PSP and the Style Savvy series for the DS and 3DS. All three of these series have one thing in common, that being it revolves a bit with styles. The latter has fashion, Kurohyou has fucking 22 unique fighting styles to choose from, and Def Jam has 5 styles you can mix and match by multiplications of 2 and 3. But what if you just ignore that? So I'll be trying to beat Def Jam Fight for New York with only one style. The game starts with D-Mob, the guy voiced by Kratos from the Norse Mythology series, getting arrested, and we make our dynamic entry, meet Tatsuya. He's the spiritual successor to the Def Jam series. Now this crossover episode was made available due to Kurohyou 2, showing that he lived in America for a year for his boxing career. So obviously we're going for the street fighting style. Fun fact now, the punch string of the street fighting style here is reused in both of the Kurohyou games as the punch string for the boxing style. And with that, I'll add more rules to myself that isn't exactly related to the main challenge. The first being, I won't allow myself to use grabs, unless it's to do a blazing move or if it's to down an opponent. I also won't allow myself to kick, and finally, no punching when an opponent is down, since Tatsuya aims to play it straight in the ring. Now after I'm done with the tutorial, D-Mob tells us to look the part, so I get a new cut and nap a bracelet, since that's the only accessory Tatsuya canonically has that we've seen anyways. And then we fight Trick. He isn't very hard, but I did get a little confused on how to actually bring him down, which got me duck in the head before landing a hard cross. I then skipped the message because they're pretty inconsequential for now, before dumping some stats and head back to the foundation and fought Bo. I vaguely remember that he's really fast, so I kept my distance and began poking, and after a failed running punch, Bo is done for the count. I then dumped more power to upper body strength before fighting 9. He's a bit easier since I managed to bait and counter his grab before proceeding to never use him again, and I just punch through his health since I do more damage. Blaze here tells us about Crow, but that doesn't matter as we fight Oma Epps and decimate him with wild running punches and the launch punch. Taking the foundation for ourselves, we then get our first indication of a boss fight in Ice-T. Though before all that, I bought Kidney Stones as my only blazing move, since some of its animation got reused in Kurohyou, and head on over to the limit. Now my height damage made Skull pretty easy to fight against, and I even land a Kidney Stone on him, but he's ultimately done in by Heavy Punch. After that, Blaze here told me to bag a baddie, and I chose Indy J. Despite Nan here swinging fast, I downed him pretty easily. Blaze tried to congratulate us, but I went ahead and boarded a cruise, and unfortunately, the goat Danny almost put me in a throw loop, but I won at the end. Blaze then talks about the free-for-all tournament, but that's not until we beat Ice-T, who wasn't bad at first, but I toyed around too much and almost lost. Snoop Dogg here then talks some shit, but that doesn't quite matter for now as I completed the look as best this game can, before I then proceed to fight the FFA, but did it in a very bitchy way, by poking and playing keep away, up until I accidentally hit Bo on the ground, where I need to restart the fight from the beginning. I continue playing keep away and plan to snipe Bo here, but Trick stole my kill, so I stole his kill in retaliation before sniping him too. The start of Babylon is rough because Elephant Man here does so much damage. Before I find a cheese by just punching 3 times, waiting, then punching again before slapping his head off. We then get a cutscene and choose not to cheat on our girlfriend and fight Mecha, who then stood a chance. Now some family drama is stirring up as Sticky Fingers gets jealous that we're taking the spotlight, before I continue to take over for Babylon. Sean Paul got me a little too close for comfort though, but I managed to lock in. I'm not even over 60% on the upper body department and breeze through the Dragon House. Now for the second milestone fight in the game, West Coast gave me a little bit of trouble at first, but he was easy to cheese, so he gets down after I lock him out. Then another cutscene starts where Crow confronts us directly, wanting to arrange another fight after Method Man lost to Fat Joe over here. But when D-Mob names us as his fighter, Sticky crashes out. Now Fat Joe here is kinda dangerous, as his damage output is one of the highest in the game, so I need to be careful.
Champ, chump.
After humiliating Crow, Trejo lands a successful sneak attack, and now we're in for another boss fight. After the big cheese, I tried to fulfill Danny's contract and try to kill him, but the train arrived too early, so I rupture his kidneys instead. We run back to Kratos, but the police are getting close, so we book it away and meet the greatest character in the game.
Man, we're gonna need some help.
Hey! What's going on?
Unfortunately, as I tried to raid the Terror Dome, I got my first loss to Dan G. But I managed to get my run back, so I celebrate by getting another round in the FFA by doing the usual hit and run to snap out a victory. And going back to the Terror Dome, Baxter here is a special Aki man, and he was one of the first characters to beat the Jab Cheese. At first anyways, but after changing some tactics, he gets cheesed to death once more. And now we have a special message.
Hey yo, this is Doc. I tell you what, partner, how about a little wager? 10 large, saying I can take more clubs from Crow than you can. You think you can beat me, bitch? Holla back.
Crazy Legs lived up to his name despite getting cheesed real hard at first. He adapted, and he also has a lot of moves that give him iframes, but I managed to pull through. Another FFA come along and you know how it goes. Hide away, then snipe kills. Going to the Sin Sophia power plant, I cheesed Bless again, but he tripped on his own pipe and I accidentally punched him down. So I reset and forced him to retire. Then Havoc and Rome went down like flies. I then checked the settings to manually save and saw that I was accidentally playing in hard mode the entire time. So I switched down to normal and fought Slick Rick, a character that reads your inputs like a book, and I managed to cheese him here because I turned down the difficulty and all that. I then head down to the chop shop and bust a rhymes try to hit on Cindy J, and I pick Ice-T as my partner to fight the entire shack. Our first opponents are KSI and Denji. They went down quite easily. Virgil and Dante gets the Divine Comedy. And then the Band Brothers went to the losers bracket. I don't have any good names for this fight, but they're both easy to cheese. Now Owie and Magic. Magic gets a fistful of cheese, and Omar gets double team. We then roll out and get another special message.
Yo, what you taking so long for, dog? I'm out there whooping Crow ass. Please believe it. You lacking behind. Trust me. You gon' owe me money. That's what's up, man. Peace.
7th time and Baby Chris gets put in a timeout. Family falls even faster than he was furious. Then Bone Crusher. Well, you know how that goes. By this point I've perfected my cheese string skills, and Little Flip gets tossed out of the pan. Magic then comes back and tries to crash the party, but I draw first blood, and he gets cheese once more. So he managed to delay his retirement plan 2 times before catching his 401k.
Hey yo, what's up, yo? This is Doc. I saw your fight last night. Good looking out, dog. We keep this up and Crow gonna be history. Talk to you soon. Peace.
We then hit up the chop shop again and clean house before another FFA, which, yet again, the hit and run and then snipe method still works. Crow then gets angry since I was ignoring his voicemails, so I ignored him here too. Now I really don't want to fight Exhibit. I've been rewatching some of the Pimp My Ride episodes and quite enjoyed it, despite never watching it in the first place, since I wasn't even born by then, but it was a fun fight. By now, since I've completed the previous FFA and side fights, the one-on-one gauntlet is here. But we don't care about the other fighters, no. We're in search to fight Henry fucking Rollins. I was afraid he's gonna be easy to cheese at first, but no. I tried to jab swing twice, and he adapted. I tried to block bait to grab counter swing again, only twice before he adapted again. Though I just need to switch between the two every now and then, until I beat him. So even despite this victory, I'm just barely short from filling up the upper body stat to max. Last 2 clubs now, starting with the pit from Fallow 3. Cruz, Solo and Bubba went down easily. So I maxed out my upper body stat and sneezed at the incredible book over here. The height is next, so Bo, then G, Elephant Man, and Prodigy falls easily. And then Tragedy strikes, as Crow threatens us with Cindy J's life. And now we turn evil. And since we're evil, we're gonna win by any means necessary. None of the refights here are interesting, besides the Ludacris and Redmond fight. Also he's here too, I guess. Ludus fight goes as per usual, but we have to thank him for not busting out his mega hands, or else would be a dead man. And Redman, well...
We're gonna finish this shit tonight, little bitch. I'ma cut your eyes out and put them on my knees and call you
After this, we have an awkward car ride, and fucking Magic has the audacity to throw us around. So we reverse jump him and crack to tell us what Cindy J is. Now, the sticky fight here was about to shape up into something interesting, with a unique stage, and when he started parrying the infinite. But after rupturing his kidneys, he tripped over a piece of plywood and burned to death. Alright, final fight time, and the most interesting thing here is how Tatsuya is somehow fast enough to sneak out and away back here. Once inside, Magic got a gun pointed to my head, but he realizes he's been on a losing streak and did the smart thing by backing off. But since Tatsuya doesn't kill, we just empty the mag and get stabbed in the shoulder, and then the fight truly begins. Now, since he's the final boss, surely he's hard, right? Well, he is, but from what I can tell, his AI is basically prioritized to grab and throw you out of the window, making him really really easy to bait out of his grabs. So I get his health as low as I can and toss him out of the window instead. But it's not over yet. After a couple more circuits in the post game, we can fight D-Mob. But yeah, that's all really. So yes, you can't beat Def Jam Fight for New York with only one style. Though Element already did that 5 years ago with kickboxing, you should check that out if you haven't. So, thank you for watching this video till the end. If you liked the video, please drop a like. If you dislike it, feel free to drop a dislike. Consider subscribing if you want to, and
Bye.